Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Pac Man the card game was released right on the heels of Pac Man the board game, which actually I found to be an entertaining game, one my son and I like to play quite a bit. And there was an old version of the card game, but I believe this one is a little bit different. Pac Man the card game that we're talking about for 2022 is one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. It's literally flip over a card and see what happens. You're hoping not to bust in this game, so it has a little bit of pressure luck, but at times it kind of makes you flip things over, and you can't really dictate what the values are, the probability of things. It's just flipping things over. And sometimes they make you flip 3 cards over. I don't know what kind of strategic element is in that. It's usually better to not flip over a card in this game because you kind of want to survive until the end. What it has to do with Pac-Man, I don't know. It has some of the Pac-Man artwork on it, but doesn't have a lot of Pac-Man in the game. One of the worst games I've played, one I would tell you to steer clear of. I'm not sure, and this is a question I was asked when I did my written review, can someone make a game out of this with the components? Maybe, but that's not something that I want to do. I don't want to house roll a game or change things up. There's not a whole lot here. They were literally just going to sell Pac Man the card game without a whole lot of thought into what that game would be, and it shows. For us, it's an absolute purge, one I would tell you to steer clear of, and run down to your mass market before they sell out and get Pac Man the board game. It is much better. Here is Pac Man the card game, a whole new level. That's a little thing you'll see hanging up in a store, and it's a little just pack of cards. The box isn't great because it's one of these kind of things where the cards kind of go inside, but it is a mass market game. You get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to have the Pac-Man back of the cards. You can see it kind of looks like that little retro-looking kind of cards here that you would get. The cards do have a great feel to them. I like the quality of these cards quite a bit. As you can see here, they have different little power things on them, etc. I think they look great. As for components-wise, fantastic. Here's the rule book. You can see the picture of the components, level 1 and level 2, that you will see here. And then it's going to be in different languages. Really, all you need for English is this right here. Let me pull this back. But the font is very, very small, as you can see. Not a lot of examples. Each of the special items will be explained. But the font is terribly small, and you probably need a magnifying glass to read through this. First thing you're going to notice, you're going to have 2 decks of cards. You're going to have a level 1 and a level 2, and they're printed right on the front of the cards. You have your 2 decks, and you'll set aside level 2, and we'll deal with just level 1 to start out. The deck is shuffled. On your turn, you can draw up to 3 cards. You can look at each card before you decide to take the next one, but once you have 3 cards, you do have to stop drawing. Cards like this will just give you the points that are listed. These are worth 1 point. The ghosts clog up your deck. If you ever get 3 of these, then you bust. Also in the deck, you'll see a bunch of different ways to score, from 1, 3, 5 points. And then you're going to have some special cards that will also be in the deck that may do different things for you, level up, etc. And they will have different bonuses. If you get one of these, you have to draw one of these. They go face up in front of you. The rest of the cards that you draw up to 3 on your turn will stay in your hand. If a player ever has 3 ghosts in their hand, they are knocked out and will be eliminated from the round, and that's one way you can win is by everybody else being eliminated. Once everybody has shut down, decided not to draw any more cards, or they have busted, then you just add up whatever cards you have in your hand, and whoever has the most points is the winner. 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, if you busted, your points don't score, only the people that are still alive. These special item cards will do different things. This allows you to choose somebody. It will skip a turn. This one right here, choose 1 player, choose how many cards that player draws on their next turn. So you get to choose they get 1 or 3. If you tell them to draw 3, they might score more points, but they're more likely to bust. So there are some special action cards, but a lot of the game is just flip it over and hope things work out to your advantage versus busting. That's how you play Pac Man the card game. Who should buy this game? Man, if you're a collector of Pac Man things, I think that's about it. Outside of that scope of people who just want to own everything Pac Man, or you really want a Pac Man card game, there's not a whole lot here to like. It's flip over a card and hope for the best, and that's about it. So this isn't one I can really recommend for anyone. Absolute Purge for us.